Hello, everybody. Um, this is going to be a replacement for our class time, so I'm going to cover chapters 15 and 16 so you have those and we can move on more quickly next week. So, anyway, chapter 15, and I would follow along in your book. These are the PowerPoints that I give you, so you've got those already. In addition, understand I'm not going to cover every single slide, so there's quite a few here. So don't panic just yet. Anyway, let's talk about designing and managing integrated marketing channels. The thing to understand here as we move ahead is that channels, this is the P or the place decision that we're talking about. We've talked about products, pricing, promotion, or we're going to talk about promotion this coming week, but place decisions are, as you might guess, vitally important, and we want to integrate those into the rest of the strategy. So this integration is the idea I want you to get, is that you can add value, and it should be a value added as to how we make the product available to our customers. It can be part of a competitive advantage. For example, look at Redbox or Netflix or streaming videos. That place decision, that distribution channel, in one case physical, another case digital, is an advantage or integral to their strategy, their market appeal, and things like that. So this is what we talk about in integration. It can't be out, or it shouldn't be outside of the bounds of our overall strategy. It should be complementary, supportive, and hopefully add to, or at least not distract or detract from our competitive advantage. Intermediaries are those that stand between the manufacturer and the ultimate distribution point. So in the classic sense, it would be retailers, would be the ultimate distribution point. We've got a manufacturer like, say, Nike, and there might be wholesalers, jobbers, and so on in that supply chain. So that's what the number and levels of intermediaries is part of this decision. We could go direct, and which might be our strategy. Channel decisions, there's a push and a pull strategy. And this is just part of promotions, really, but it gets lumped into this discussion. A push strategy is when manufacturers attempt to push the product through the channel by incentivizing, as it says here, sales force, trade promotion dollars to get product in the channel because they don't own the channel. The channel members may carry hundreds of other products, so they've got to kind of fight for that space and get it into the channel, get it out there to the retailers, which is true of most products, quite honestly, especially in the B2C sense. So they're incentivizing it from the top down. Now, a pull strategy is the opposite incentive. It is using direct advertising, promotion, and so on to the ultimate consumer to have them pull it through the channel, meaning they go to the retailer and ask for it. This is why when you see ads that discuss new products for the grocery store, it will almost always say, go ask your grocer for this product. That's part of a pull strategy. So now you know that. Hybrid channels, really, in all honesty, all of these are these examples. Because of technology, it's limited to your imagination as to how you can distribute. If you can digitize anything, you should, i.e. music, video, audio, and the like. So if it's information, it can be digitized, obviously. This should be part of your game. Buyer expectations for channel integration are high. They expect seamless integration. If I go into a Barnes & Noble store and which I've never done, but I'm just saying as an example, you might go out there and pick up your shipment or return your book that you didn't like, or whatever it might be. So that integration, this is why we've talked about this quite a bit. This 360-degree look at our decisions is critical, and from the perspective of the target market, that's critical. Channel member functions, they do a huge amount of things. If you look on page 419, you'll see the functions that they provide and descriptions. 420 has advantages of each, or excuse me, I want you to think about advantages and disadvantages of each. These functions don't go away, or the need for these things don't go away. So if you eliminate steps or levels, who's going to do it? How can it be accounted for? That's something to consider. There you go. There's an example for forklifts. Direct marketer like Bowflex, or more or less direct. Consumer markets, there's different levels. Industrial, reverse, we're going to recycle everything because we're all oh so green. Designing a channel, well, I've already talked about this a little bit. What's the market need? And maybe there are things that you can provide that they need that they aren't getting now. So that's right at the top of the list, like we've said a million times. What are the needs? What are the objectives? What are you trying to accomplish given what your strategy is? What are your alternatives? And then you choose among the alternatives. There might be lots of choices, but what's the best choice given what you can do well, what your competitive advantages are, and what consumers are willing to pay for, and how much is it going to cost? What Europeans value, as an example, might be contrasted with the United States, or might be different from the United States. So there's just different target markets. The regional differences in the United States might be about the same. Lot sizes, that just refers to like big box stores, i.e., instead of buying one bar of soap, you're going to buy 50 at a pop. That's part of the equation. Type, the number of intermediaries, which I've mentioned already. Let me see. Okay, number of intermediaries or types of distribution. The steel is a good example of this. Kind of the little vignette that they talk about in the book is a good one. So these are the 3 levels of distribution, or number of distribution points: exclusive, selective, and intensive. So exclusive means just that. It is not that it's hard to find, but it's just limited to certain specific kinds of retailers. Like Rolex watches are in, smaller, more upscale establishments, whereas Timex is everywhere. They've got more of an intensive distribution. Most products lie in the middle, as you might guess, selective. Intensive is a good example of that is candy. Candy or I just saw one about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola figured that and they're intensive, they figured they need 11 million distribution points to serve the communist Chinese market, the Red China. So, which is kind of a unbelievable thing when you think about it. Terms and responsibilities, channel members, I'm going to let you read that. It just depends. So everything from those former slides, what you set it up, you decide on what you want to do given the information, your analysis, how you're going to be competitive. If you can't, when you think of those, when you choose, this has to be part of the equation too. There are legal ramifications to what you do with channel members. So direct marketing, indirect, direct sales. I mean, what this really boils down to is the cost of business. So all you numbers kind of people out there, this should really, make you feel good when we're talking about these things. So who's gonna sell our stuff? Who's gonna carry our stuff? Again, it goes back to the strategy. What's going to provide us, or maintain for us our competitive advantage? Now, channel power. The biggest player in the market has the most power. So if I'm selling to Walmart, they have more power than I do. So they're the channel captain, they call them. And they're at the end of the channel. Whoever's the biggest company, who has the deepest pockets, most power, they're the ones with the most influence in the marketplace. What do channel members fight over? Well, money. They fight over money. I'm not getting enough is always going to be the fight. Or they're getting too much, or they're stealing from me, they're robbing me, whatever it might be. Now, channel integration systems, sometimes there are corporate vertical marketing systems where corporation will own all the means of distribution all the way to the retail point. So manufacturer all the way through. Vertical integration is another way to say it. That could be a decision too. Integrated channel, there you go for coach. There's a little analytical tool. Channel conflict, we talked about that. Money is what they fight over. That's why there are lawyers, business lawyers. That's what happens. Strategies for managing conflict. Legal recourse is probably the last thing you want to do. This is why good contracts are important and to think it through. E-commerce, pure click, Amazon, brick and click, Barnes and Noble. E-commerce is a means of distribution, a means of promotion. It is, think of this, a website is really a store. It is digital, but it's a store. And its advantage is it's everywhere all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, it's not perfect because you can't touch the product and you can't physically talk to people. Now, there are, well, if you remind me, I'll show you some websites that I think do an excellent job of integration and putting their store together online. One is, ask me in class. I'll show them to you. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Mobile commerce is here to stay. You guys are probably, you could tell me chapter and verse about this, from banking to appointments to tickets for flying. This is an avenue that probably a lot of businesses could do better on, especially small ones and medium-sized ones. But you know what? This is where smart people like you come in. Okay, my friends, I'm going to do chapter 16 next. Please look this over. Make sure this is no substitute for reading the chapter, please. Make sure you come to class with escape velocity. We're going to talk about that a great deal, and I look forward to seeing you. Thank you.